Now remember, Anthony Albanese told us before the election all would be better under a Labor government. I made the point last night that for a family with a $750,000 mortgage, they'll have to find another $22,000 a year to fund their repayments. And I also made the point that the number of companies that collapsed in October has increased by 43%. They can't pay their tax debt because they were banned by government from conducting business during coronavirus. There were 569 liquidation or administration appointments nationally in October. 569. Now remember, Mr Albanese said everything would be better under Labor. Well, I'm telling you the honeymoon is over, but I've told you that weeks ago, didn't I? Voter discontent is growing. It's been exacerbated by the perception that the Prime Minister has not been focused on domestic and household issues. Yes, the China trip was important because there was a risk of military conflict in the Indo-Pacific. That risk hasn't gone away. There are many threats posed by China, but they're not exactly issues troubling the electorate. There's economic trouble at home, and the Prime Minister is facing almost outright hostility about his travels. He's headed from China to the Cook Islands for the Pacific Island Forum. I've got no idea what that is likely to achieve. And then a second trip to America this month for the APEC Leaders Summit. It's clear to everyone but Bowen and his acolytes that this net zero nonsense is unachievable, which of course I've said all along, and I'll be having more to say about that. But the reality is Anthony Albanese has suffered significant political harm from being so hopelessly wrong on this voice nonsense and dividing the country. The polls show he is deep into negative territory. For the first time, more voters disapprove of Albanese's performance than they do of Peter Dutton's. Cost of living concerns mount. The pressures facing households are increasing, and the Prime Minister has done himself no favours by being out of the country as much as he has been, notwithstanding the importance of many of these overseas trips. In July, the Prime Minister's approval ratings were at 52%, and his net satisfaction, that's the difference between those who approved and those who disapproved, was plus 11. That is, many more people approved. His net approval rating is now minus 10. That is, in 4 weeks, he's moved into politically